I, 25F, live with my aunt, 57F. We don't get along, she can be controlling and mean. Her son, my cousin, 35M, doesn't live with us. On Wednesday night, my aunt and cousin called me into her room. Her car needed $18,000 in repairs, so she wanted me to co-sign for a new one. I don't even have a driver's license and rely on Uber/Lyft. My cousin couldn't co-sign because his credit is bad, his last car got repossessed. They said, my cousin would handle most payments, she'd refinance the loan in a year, my credit would help lower the interest. It all felt sudden. This was at 9 p.m., so I said I'd think about it. The next morning, on my way to work, my aunt texted me for my personal info so they could go to the dealership. I said I wasn't comfortable and asked to wait until the weekend. She said she needed the car immediately. My cousin called during my break and pushed hard, "It'll help your credit, I'll teach you to drive, if she loses her job, you'll be stuck with rent." I gave in and he picked me up in an Uber. Before I left, I texted my dad. He got mad and told me not to co-sign. When I got in the car, my dad was still on the phone and asked to talk to my cousin. I don't know what he said, but my cousin was clearly annoyed. At the dealership, I heard the payment would be $700 per month and she still owed $7,000 on her current car. My gut said this was a bad idea. I pulled my aunt aside, said I wasn't comfortable, and she kept saying, "How will this affect you?" I held my ground. I told the salesperson I wasn't going through with it. He said any paperwork had been shredded and nothing went through. Later, my grandma found out and called the dealership herself. I gave her the contact info, they confirmed I was off the hook. Then Saturday, I got a Credit Karma alert congratulating me on a new car. I called my cousin, not mad, just confused, and he said it was from applying. But Experian showed a car account, which freaked me out. It's just a mistake. Sunday, my aunt confronted me for attacking her character and making her look bad to the family. She was upset about my dad and grandma getting involved. I tried to explain, but she talked over me, said I was wrong about her, and walked off. I feel like I just tried to protect myself. Comment 1, NTA. Co-signing a loan is a big deal. You're on the hook if she can't make the payments. If she can't handle it on her own and her son's credit sucks, they should ask grandma. It's a huge risk and it could ruin your credit score. Glad you didn't take it lightly and neither did your dad. I would call the dealership and again confirm that you did not co-sign for a car loan and that nothing was processed. I'm scared they went through with it and forged your signature after you left. Comment 2. NTA. Never co-sign something you aren't comfortable paying for yourself. They have plenty of options well below choosing a car with a $700 per month payment. Also, $18,000 of repairs? Make sure they don't have your SSN and freeze your credit. Why are you living with your aunt? Are you paying rent? Story 2. Refusing to let mother-in-law stay in my home unless she apologizes for insulting me in the past and will not insult me if she is allowed to visit. Hi, I feel like my husband is gaslighting me and would like unbiased opinions on the situation. A bit of background first, my husband and I met on Match, but he told his family that we met in Vegas. I don't know exactly what he told them, just Vegas. I came here on a student visa, met husband years later, and got my green card after we married. I speculated that between Vegas and the green card, mother-in-law feels her precious only son is too good for me. This does not excuse Mel's behavior. Just my speculation on why she treated me so poorly. Mother-in-law has insulted my command of English. Told me to learn to speak better English so I can get a better job. I think my English is fine and barely accented. Grammar and words are all correct as you can see. Mother-in-law has told husband not to let me read to our children because they will pick up on my bad English. On a visit to the in-laws, who live on the opposite coast, mother-in-law told me to mop her kitchen floor and scrub the bathtub and toilet. I have refused to go back. It has been at least 8 years. Husband takes the kids to visit his parents during summer breaks. He would like to have his parents come visit, and has brought this up multiple times. I refuse because they would stay for at least several weeks and they would be intruding on my safe space. I have no family here and nowhere to go if they visit. I said I would go to a hotel. Husband said I am being petty, overreacting, and being too sensitive. He did not believe his mom said those things initially. Then he said it's cultural. We are both the same race, but different cultures. He said I should not hold grudges. That I am not behaving very Christian-like. We do not belong to nor attend church. I have more opinions, but won't put in the post so I don't influence anyone's answers. So, comment 1. NTA in any way. Your mother-in-law is horrible, but your husband is completely wrong for refusing to stand up for you and set hard limits with his mother. I think your requirements are reasonable, but I might add that your mother-in-law needs to clean every bathroom and scrub every floor in your house immediately upon entering your home. Comment 2. NTA. Your mother-in-law is a problem and the definite are here, but you have another problem with your husband. Culture doesn't give your mother-in-law the right to insult you and treat you as inferior. Your husband needs to insist your mother-in-law apologize before he lets her into your house. You should not go to a hotel. Also, you are not being petty or overreacting. You're not sensitive either. Something needs to change, OP, for your sake. Story 3, expecting tequila in the margaritas. My 35M wife, 33F, got invited to a party at her co-worker's house. I reluctantly went because the only person I would know was my wife. This is a relatively new job for her and wanted to be able to meet and mingle with her co-workers outside of work. Her understanding of it all was we didn't need to bring anything but ourselves. We show up and seems like a lively party, pool with a bar area, music playing. They had a margarita machine and a ton of food. My wife got to talking, so I excused myself to grab a drink. The margarita machine was calling my name, so I filled my cup and grabbed my wife a margarita. I went back to my wife, I started drinking and realized that there wasn't any tequila in it. That's when I noticed no alcohol being around. The host was tending to the machine and I asked if there was any tequila. She looks at me confused and then says there is no tequila. I said, "Oh, I thought this was a party." She takes offense at that and says it is, just a dry one. I awkwardly left it at that. I poured out my drink and grabbed some water. Host asks if there was something wrong with it. I said I wasn't interested in drinking straight sugar. I walked back to my wife. Kept to myself and ate some food for the few hours we were there. It made it back to my wife that I was an asshole to the host. Caused a minor argument between us. Was I though? Comment 1. YTA, would you not have been drinking straight sugar if there was tequila in it? You insulted the host twice in a very brief interaction because you couldn't drink alcohol. You just embarrassed the shit out of your wife. Comment 2. Yeah. YTA. You really have to ask? You should have at least waited until you were away from the host to dump your drink, and your "I thought this was a party" line was rude. You made your wife look bad to her new co-workers. With the way office gossip works, by the time this story makes a few more rounds they will all have convinced themselves you're a full-blown alcoholic. Which is exactly what you sound like if you complain about a dry work party with brand new people you have never met. Story 4, telling my neighbor that she rude for blocking access to the dryers. I live in an apartment complex with shared laundry. There are 3 washers and 3 dryers. We do not have a folding table or anything in the laundry room besides the machines. Most people just take their laundry out the dryer and throw it in their baskets to fold after they take it back to their apartment. There is one lady specifically who will take her clothes out of the dryer and put them on top of all the dryers to fold right there, even if other people are waiting. This creates an inconvenience to me and other residents who want to just throw our clothes in or take them out and throw them in our basket and go. She will not move out of the way either. She will say I will be done soon and just stand in front of the dryers, folding the clothes she just dried. I have been patient the other times, but one time I was in a rush, just told her I need to use the dryer really quick and began putting my clothes in it, which takes liberally 10 seconds. She was forced to move since I pushed my way in, but she got upset. She said I need to be patient because she was there first. I told her she can either use one machine to use as a table to fold her clothes and not block the others, or she can take her clothes up to her apartment to fold like everyone else. She said she wants to fold them wherever she pleases and that I need to just be more patient. I told her she is blocking all of the machines, which is rude. She told me again that she was there first and it would not take her long to fold her clothes. I've waited 5 minutes before just to put my clothes in the dryer waiting for her to finish. When she left, she told me I need to be less rude and wait my turn since we are in a shared space and I cannot expect to get my way. Comment 1. NTA, she doesn't own the space and she had no right to block it. Honestly, keep doing it and just stop engaging with her. She's one of those pathetic people that likes to have whatever little power she can over others and is entitled. Ignore her like she's not even there, that'll tick her off more than anything. Comment 2. NTA, it is extremely inconsiderate to not get out of the way. Especially since there are 3 machines. How does she even manage to block all 3 at the same time? Any chance there's room for a table? The apartment complex should add one, to avoid drama, if no other reason. Extra, not replacing $600 in shirts? My boyfriend put a bunch of dirty laundry in our shared laundry bag, including button-downs. I added my clothes to said laundry bag but saw it was inside out. I dumped everything on the ground, and he said from across the room, "Hey, can you separate out my button-downs?" And I said sure. I missed 2, and they ended up going to wash and fold instead of dry cleaning and suffered damage. The shirts are worth $300 each and he says I now owe him. I personally think I made a mistake, but that it's not all on me. I don't know why those shirts weren't separated out in the first place.